Hello, creators and crafters, and welcome to the first episode of Alli Crafts. So this is going to be my personal channel where I share with you the crafts that I do on a day-to-day basis. I am going to update, I'm going to recycle, reuse, reinvent, reimagine, all different types of things, whether it's a fashion item like this t-shirt here, for example, or it could just be a home decor item that I reimagine. Maybe I'll even do a palette wall later in the future. So if you care to join me today for the first episode of Alli Crafts, I am going to distress this shirt similar to the way that this one is distressed, and I am going to show you how I do it. First thing you need is a t-shirt. I picked this one up while we were garage selling because what my husband and I do for a living is we buy and sell stuff on eBay. So we go to thrift stores and garage sales every single week. I have a great opportunity to find t-shirts. I love the idea of thrifting and reimagining a shirt, especially if it's something that I really want to wear, but I don't necessarily like the boringness of it. So the distressed shirts are pretty common right now. Kanye West was rocking one, so they're really, really hot, and I'm going to show you how to make one. First thing you need, a pair of scissors. Second thing you'll need is bleach in a spray bottle. I tried to brighten up the black shirt so that you could see what I'm doing, and I am going to time lapse this so we can get a general idea of how long it takes. But I would say this project is going to take roughly 30 minutes for cutting the holes and doing the bleach, and then maybe another 10 minutes because you want to wash the bleach out of the shirt in your sink. And just a little forewarning for the younger viewers that choose to do this project, you are working with a harmful substance, so make sure you do have some adult supervision. And for those of you who will be working with bleach and haven't necessarily made a craft with bleach before, I would recommend using it in a well-ventilated area or outside would be best. So let's begin. One of my favorite things I liked about the shirt was the large holes in the collar. So what you're going to want to do is pinch the collar right under it and give it a nice little fold. Now, it would be best if you have great sharp scissors. If your scissors aren't sharp, sharpen them. If you don't have scissors that cut well through fabric, maybe this project is something you should wait on. But let's begin. You can see here we take the first cut, and what you're going to want to do with the stretchier fabric, this is not necessarily like a Gildan hard fabric, is you're just going to want to pull it. For harder fabric, you're going to actually want to pinch it, and I'll show you here. It'll make a much larger hole. So you pinch it this way, and then you just cut a little bit off the top. See here. You can see it makes a very large hole. So again, because this is a stretchier fabric, that's how you make a very large hole opposed to just a slit where it makes a much smaller hole. Now remember, you don't want to put too many in the same area because if you do so, you're going to get a weird spiderweb looking shirt, and that's not what you want. You want it to look distressed. You don't want it to look like a horror novel. One thing that I really like to do is I like to put a nice set of 5 close by each other. So I'm going to show you here. Camera picks that up. Do one little slit, a smaller one, and then a little one. And not too close together because when you stretch it, the holes do become larger. Now with the smaller holes, it would be okay to cut out some of the fabric, but with the larger holes, you absolutely just want to put a slit in, or it might be too large. So you can see they look pretty small. Give them another little stretch. Careful not to rip the shirt, because again, it is just fabric and you can rip it with your fingers. So that's what we're going to do here. We're just going to do a lot of slits. right, I zoomed the camera in a bit closer so that you can see how I'm going about this. So careful where you're cutting. It's a little awkward to lean forward and cut, but it's all right. We'll make one over here, maybe a little further up so it's not too matchy. Sometimes it's best to cut a little bit smaller if you're not too sure how it's gonna come out. Don't be afraid of it. Right, and for here, waist area, I guess we'll just make a series of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then what we'll do is we'll make little holes around the big holes. Now that the main big holes have been created, I don't like to do the little holes until after the big holes are done because I don't want little holes to get in the way of my big main holes. They're kind of like the focal point, and then the little holes are just the little details. So we can do a little one, see that there, little pinch. Just give it a nice little pinch. Grab it with your scissors and then do it too. And then a third one for good luck. Let's do it here. One nice thing about doing this with your shirts is that in summertime it's pretty hot and it kind of helps them breathe. Get a little bit of a breeze in there. I definitely prefer that. And this will just be an opening here with a little slit. You won't actually see too much skin. You just know that that slit is there. Just do some little slits over the stomach area. And then don't forget, guys, there's the back of the shirt. Definitely looks better to do the back as well. It looked weird when I tried doing it without the back and then decided that yes, I would be doing the back. Another little hack I discovered is if you cut a nice long slit along the armholes, it allows your armpits to breathe, which I thought was pretty clever, but it's not like you have a weird hole in your armpit because not many people really see them. So if you want that breathability of the shirt, definitely give your armholes a go. A little slit in there. So now let's flip it over. And last but not least, guys, the clean edge might not necessarily be your thing with the look of the distressed shirt. So there is a way you can distress the edges without actually cutting them. You can take your scissor and you can just do little cuts. This is very time consuming and you might not feel like being bothered with it, but it does kind of make a cool little jagged edge. And don't forget, star of the show is the collar. Everyone's always looking at the collar, so make sure you get a really nice distress in your collar, or you'll end up putting your shirt back on and distressing it yet again. So here is our shirt, and now we're going to go outside and give it some bleach sprays. As I'm spraying it, you can definitely see all of the cuts really well. I'm lightly squeezing the trigger, as you can currently see here, because it makes nice large blotches. And what you want to make sure you do whenever you're spraying your shirt, I zoomed in so that you can see what I'm doing here, is you want to kind of open up the creases and spray those so that you don't get a funny unbleached black line or just fabric line, whatever the color of your shirt is. So I go all around And I'm doing that, as you can see there, and I'm changing, of course, the spraying versus the lightly pulling of the trigger so that it leaves nice big blotches. I think the blotches kind of make it look a bit tie-dyed, which I really like it. So it's just a preference thing. If you don't want the big blotches, don't lightly squeeze the trigger. If you love them a lot, do it a bunch of times. But again, it's just a distressed t-shirt. It's an experiment. Who knows how it's gonna go until the final product is there. But it's really, really rewarding to just watch the darkness lighten. And it kind of makes the design on the front really pop out. And then I sprayed around the front a little bit extra because I really wanted it to pop, and I extra sprayed around all of my cuts because I wanted them to be really, really kind of the star of the show. Now what you're gonna wanna do is rinse your shirt extremely, extremely well. Into the dryer with you, shirt. Salad. And alas, here it is complete. I hope you guys really liked this. I hope it wasn't boring and it was more informational type of a thing. I really want to show you all of the steps, start from finish. There you can see the holes at the bottom and how I did them and where I chose to make the cuts. Again, if you don't want your stomach area showing very much, don't cut out the fabric, just put some slits in and don't stretch it out as far. You can see the distress on the sleeves, how nice that looks, and it matches the style. And all the splotches, how I gave it a little bit of a wave effect and a splatter look about it. But yeah, thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.